VOA, 22nd of September 2023, Africa's loans from China reach a new low, study indicates Chinese bankruptcy. The Belt and Road Initiative, BRI, China's global infrastructure initiative, is celebrating its 10th anniversary today. According to recent data, lending to Africa has reached its lowest point in nearly 2 decades. Researchers at Boston University's Global China Initiative said in a paper released this week that the pandemic, problems with the domestic economy, a change in policy, and worries about African debt were some of the reasons lending in 2021 and 2022 fell below $2 billion for the first time since the BRI's founding. According to the analysis, China's lenders lent $170 billion to Africa, one of its main BRI partners, between 2022. However, borrowing to Africa has declined significantly over the last 2 years after reaching over $28 billion in 2016. China gave Africa a $1.22 billion loan in 2021, but just 9 loans totaling $994.48 million were executed last year. Lead researcher Oyanteri Lato Moses, in an email to VOA, stated, "We expect less large-scale lending over $500 million as trends show that loan averages and amounts are decreasing and policy framing in China is also shifting." This new policy framing of small and beautiful coming from China indicates that there will be more loans with smaller values simultaneously. Environmental and social impact. Moses spoke about Beijing's small and beautiful strategy, which intends to move away from funding large-scale projects like motorways and railways and towards smaller loans with a more significant positive social and environmental impact. Chinese President Xi Jinping has dubbed this strategy. The survey also discovered that, before most loans went to nations in Eastern and Southern Africa, 2021 to 2022, there was a shift to Western Africa, with Senegal, Benin, and the Ivory Coast receiving most of the funding. Moses noted that other African nations who have borrowed extensively in the past are today managing debt crises. He explained that this is because these countries have historically borrowed less from China, so China had less loan exposure to these countries. According to the report, Chinese lenders may have grown more wary due to Western accusations of unsustainable lending stemming from several African nations, like Zambia, having either defaulted on their debt or having financial difficulties repaying it. The investigation discovered that several loans for projects in Zambia, Ghana, Cameroon, and the Democratic Republic of the Congo were cancelled in 2021 to 2022 due to an impasse in negotiations. In the same time frame, new loans were given to a more excellent range of industries than in prior years, albeit transportation was the principal beneficiary. The African industry that had previously received the most significant loans, energy projects, saw no fresh funding. After promising to make the Belt and Road Initiative, BRI, green and to stop funding coal projects abroad, the research authors believe China will keep searching for greener projects to support. A deal inked in August to assist South Africa with its energy issue is one of the most recent investments made by China. The $30 million package will include emergency supplies and equipment from China. According to the data, 2 sectors saw increases in investments in 2021 to 2022, the environment, including a loan to Senegal for improving water resources, and advancements in agriculture and education. Additional factors contributing to the decline in loans were primarily related to China's economic downturn. It is focusing forward. According to the report, there may be more loans under $50 million and fewer large-scale loans totaling more than $500 million in the future given to Africa. Deficits in infrastructure and climate goals will drive demand from African governments, but Chinese lenders will probably meet the demand within these new policy parameters, Moses told VOA. We anticipate a general increase in Chinese lending due to the demands of African countries. However, she predicted that this bounce would not likely reach its earlier heights. According to Cobus van Staden, an analyst with the China Global South Project, loan rates are unlikely to return to their 2016 levels. Nevertheless, he stated, "I believe it's ridiculous to merely interpret the current fall in lending as oh, the BRI's finished. I believe the Belt and Road Initiative, BRI, has never been stable, rather, it has always changed and evolved and is currently changing and evolving once more. That means it will transform into a more slender, eco-friendly version of itself, and then we'll see," he said to VOA. As the economy in China improves and comes a little bit back up to speed, I think the lending will creep back up, forecaster Van Staten said. He stated he anticipated this would occur following the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation in the following year. The analyst said it seems like we're currently experiencing a stagnant period, but it will eventually rise again because Africa isn't going away. According to him, China benefits from Africa's proximity to its abundant mineral riches and demand for China,